guys, it's Tech here, and today we're going to be doing a sniper rifle overview. That is basically, I'm going to tell you as much info as possible, and pretty much as much info as I know about sniper rifles. So we're going to hit up the shop real quick, and currently I have some, my usual loadout equipped. Ordi, shotgun, machine gun, spot bat, the usual. So let's head over to sniper rifles. And this is the list of all the sniper rifles you can buy in the shop. You can also buy some other ones in the underground, which is basically the Dark Vanquisher, and that's pretty much it. Everything else you can find in the shop. And so yeah, all the coin weapons currently available. Everything's coin except for the Nefarious Needler and Dark Vanquisher. And yeah, the only problem is, of course, level locks. But yeah, let's start out at the beginning. We got the sniper rifle. Pretty much most basic weapon you'll ever find. The damage rate is 80 per hit, which is better than the Ordi, but it is slower than the Ordi, so keep that in mind. Its rate of fire, a bit slow, but not amazing. Like, nothing that's outrageous. It's it's about equivalent to the Deliverator, which isn't bad. Accuracy is 100% usual. Not even going to go through that. Recoil is 12, and, not bad. So yeah, we'll show you that over here. This is how it's like in the game. I have the sound turned off simply because it makes a very annoying noise when you're in the, what do you call it? When you're in the main menu, so I decided to just turn it off for simple purposes, and so it doesn't get annoying. So yeah, it's a fairly fast weapon for a sniper rifle. Oops. So yeah, not bad. I highly recommend it if you're just starting out with sniping, and also if you're not one of those people who wants to spend a lot of credits or coins. It's the cheapest weapon you can buy. That is a sniper rifle, and it's pretty balanced, so yeah. Nice weapon, but definitely not the most powerful you'll find. Oh, by the way, headshot for this is 800, so keep that in mind. It's a perfect shot if you get in the head and the person does not have armor or extra health. Moving on to the Ordinator rifle. This is a level 12 lock, meaning you have to be level 12 to purchase it with coins, or you can actually buy it with credits at any level. So, Ordinator rifle. It's one of the lowest damage weapons you can find, with the exception of the Snapshot. That is a sniper rifle. And, but it is a much faster weapon. Like they say here, the Ordinator rifle's low damage is offset by the fact that it's the fastest firing sniper available, which not totally true anymore. Like I said before, Snapshot is now the fastest, but still a very fast weapon. Damage is 60, which means it's 90 for a headshot or not shot. 60 isn't bad because if you get it twice, you get 120, which is perfect, because it usually takes out anybody who has some light armor on or picked up some extra armor in the map or stuff like that. So it's kind of a good balance. It's also very good. Personally, I've been using it a lot for no-scoping. Oops, missed there. Yeah, I'm not perfect at no-scoping, trust me. But it's a very fast weapon. You can get off shots really quick. A lot faster than a sniper rifle, for example. But, yeah, definitely one of my personal favorites, but I'll try to influence that in my kind of overview. But yeah, Ordinator rifle, it's a less powerful weapon, but it definitely makes up for that in its speed and just ability to get shots off really quick, where your opponent might still be reloading or trying to find a way. You can get those shots off. So yeah, that is the Ordinator rifle. Moving on to the Deliverator. This was my sniper of choice before I moved on to the Ordi. Actually, the only reason I didn't use the Ordi before that was because I was not level 12. Anyway, the Deliverator. It's a very popular weapon because it has no level lock, but it's one of the most powerful snipers that you can buy with coins. Its damage rate is 90, and I believe nut shot and headshot. Now, I'm not positive what it is. I think it's think it's like 120. I'm not positive about that though, so don't take my word for it, but I think it's around 120 for the nutshot. So yeah. Anyway, we got rate of fire, it's 1300. It's a little bit slower than the sniper rifle, but not by much. And it's, of course, you know, a lot slower than the Ordi. Recoil is only 4, which makes it very good for when you're zooming in. You don't get, like, thrown back like you do with a Vanquisher. And that makes it very good for long-distance shots, especially since it actually has a more powerful zoom than the Ordinator rifle, or the sniper rifle. So that is one of the biggest advantages. You can get headshots very easily because you can zoom in a lot more. So if you're going from a distance, like a Uberstrike, or if you're sniping from the back in Sky Garden, it is actually a very, very good weapon for that kind of use. So yeah, Deliverator, pretty good weapon, very cheap, only 700 coins. It's not really, really cheap, but considering there's no level lock, I highly suggest it if you're interested in long-distance shots and just getting more damage overall without being a high level. Moving on to the Particle Lance. Now the Particle Lance, that is a long-range weapon for intensely frying enemies from a distance. Yeah, this is one of those weapons that I mentioned in my previous video that has none of the weird crosshair zooms. It's one of these type zoom weapons, which kind of gives you almost a weird it's almost like you're no-scoping, but with like an actual scope. It's weird. It can be useful. I found it very useful in some situations. It gives you a more clear view of what's around, so you can possibly get a person that's moving a lot easier. But it's not perfect. It really is personal preference. I like the crosshairs, but you may like the Particle Lance and it may work for you. It has a level lock of 15, so that's fairly high. I'm not even level 15 yet, I'm level 13. So it does take a bit of time to get there, but you can also buy it with credits if you really want to use it. And not insanely expensive, 1,300 per day, and it is, what, 7,000 for a week. Yeah, it's expensive. Not the cheapest weapon you'll find for coins, but by that point you probably will be getting a fair amount of coins just from your daily logins, so if you stack that up, and you'll be alright. And of course, like I said, buy with credits if you really need it that badly. Damage is 105. I do not know the headshot or nutshot ratio on this one. I believe it's in like maybe 135, yeah, I think it might be like 135. But like I said, don't take my word for it, and just ask somebody or look around. I don't know. I'm not exactly sure what the damage rate is on that. But yeah, 105 for a normal shot, and rate of fire is 1400, a little bit slower than the Deliverator and sniper rifle, so it just slowly gets a little bit slower as it gets more powerful, which of course makes sense. You want an overpowered weapon that's really, really fast. Recoil is 8, which isn't bad. Not going to jar your line of sight too badly. So yeah, I think it's a fairly balanced weapon. It's starter for the that kind of odd scoping, but that's really a personal preference, really. And so yeah, that is the Particle Lance. So moving on to the Snapshot. This is one of the latest weapons they just released. It has a level 10 lock, which isn't bad. I mean, level 10, you can reach that somewhat easily. It is now the fastest sniper rifle they have, and it also has this strange non-crosshair scope, like the Particle Lance, which makes it a kind of Ordi, but with like a Particle Lance scope. So it's an interesting combination. The rate of fire is 500 as opposed to the Ordi 750. The 750, of course, having more a higher number is slower, so 500 is the smaller number, so it is faster. And the recoil is 10, which is a bit much. Not terrible, but it does add a little bit to it. But it is the fastest sniper rifle, so that's really where it makes the difference. I believe the headshots for this, I actually don't know. I think it was like 80. I believe it's like 80, but I'm not positive on that. The damage rate is 50. That's the biggest bummer with this weapon. You need to get a really accurate, fast shots off to actually do anything with this weapon. So that's the only downside there. Another thing to take note of, as you can just see there, Particle Lance, it doesn't zoom in as much as the Snapshot does. The Snapshot zooms in really fast, and there's pretty much no control of zoom. That's one of the biggest downsides to this type of scoping. Instead of having a crosshair where you can zoom in, this will not allow you to zoom in whatsoever. So you just kind of at the mercy of what the weapon will give you. So like the Particle Lance, you can zoom in that much, and that's it. But with the Snapshot, you can zoom in that much, but that's it. You can't zoom out or anything, so it's a little bit tougher to do that when you're zoomed in that far. But yeah, I've had a little bit of experience with the Snapshot. It's a very fast firing weapon. I personally don't like it because I'm used to the Ordi and the crosshair, but it is a good weapon if you want to balance between a Particle Lance scope and a Ordinator rifle's speed. So yeah, that is the Snapshot. Moving on to the Vanquisher. Now this used to be the most powerful weapon you could buy on Uberstrike as a sniper rifle. I don't know if it's the most powerful weapon ever, but it is the most powerful sniper rifle, yeah. Most powerful sniper rifle you could buy before they added the Dark Vanquisher and some other stuff, so yeah. But anyway, the Vanquisher, totally insane sniper rifle. Costs 1,500 points for a single day of use, and I believe it is 8,400 for 7 days of coins, if you're buying with coins. With credits, it's not too bad, actually. They have only 580 for 1 day, so yeah, pretty cheap with credits, but with coins, it is very pricey. Like I said, most powerful weapon. The rate of fire, as you can see, it just got up again. 1,500, that's 100 more than the Particle Lance, which, like I said, more damage, slower weapon. The recoil is 12, so it is a little bit more on the recoil. Like that. So, yeah, just keep that in mind. Another thing to note, this thing can zoom in insanely far. This is the normal zoom without any extra zoom in. If you zoom in more, that's how far you can zoom in. So it's perfect for getting headshots or nut shots off at a very far distance, because you can really be very, very accurate. And of course it's insanely powerful, which, is just an advantage. Now, why I'm not saying the headshots for this, I actually don't know the headshot for the Vanquisher. I think it's probably in the 150-ish range, maybe 145, somewhere around there. But I don't know for sure. But yeah, most powerful coin weapon you can buy as a, not most powerful coin weapon, most powerful sniper that you can buy with coins. So yeah, that is the Vanquisher. Nefarious Needler. Now that's a unique weapon. It is a fairly fast weapon, not the most powerful, for sure. You can only buy it with credits at the moment. There's no option to buy it with coins, which, kind of a downside. It's actually a unique type of weapon. It's a sniper crossbow. Yeah, a little strange. There's two types of crossbows they introduced. It was the Nefarious Needler, and I believe they also have, yeah, the Spiteful Stinger. Those both cost credits. This one being the more powerful one, of course, because it is the sniper as opposed to a handgun type class. And the damage is 70. I don't know what the headshot is. Probably like maybe 110, maybe 100, maybe a little less. I don't know. I'm not positive on that, so don't take my word for it. Rate of fire is 900, so it's kind of an in-between balance between a sniper rifle and an Ordi. It's a little bit slower than a Ordi, but it's not as slow as a sniper rifle, so that's good. It fires arrows, which is a bit unique. And another thing to note about this weapon, one hit with a slow will slow a player by 40% for 3 seconds. That's because the arrow will slow the person down. It actually sticks out of the person when you shoot them. And yeah, that's one of the big factors in this weapon. It can slow people down. So, like if I shoot this arrow there, if I move over, yeah, you can see that the arrow, they appear on the ground. They're like physical arrows. So yeah, that is the Nefarious Needler. Very unique weapon. It's fairly good for sniping, really. You can zoom in very far. It has the normal crosshairs, which is nice. And only downside being that it costs credits, but as a credit weapon, oh look, there's floating arrows. That's interesting. But yeah, as a credit weapon, it definitely is a very nice weapon. I would highly suggest it for anybody. Especially, like, it really helps when people are like jumping around. You know, this strafing really helps to slow people down and kind of mess with them for 3 seconds. You know, maybe get your bearings or something. But it's an interesting weapon for sure. And now we're just gonna move over to the underground, where I believe, yeah, they used to have the fusion lance. They don't currently have it for sale, but the only weapon they have here that is unique to the underground is the Dark Vanquisher. Now, that is now currently the most powerful sniper rifle you can buy, but it does cost credits. And of course the rate of fire is really long. It's 1650, which is really long compared to the other ones. I believe the Vanquisher, yeah, 1500, and this is up to 150. So it's a lot slower than the other snipers, but of course it's the most powerful. Recoil is 12, just like the Vanquisher, so no addition there. And also, like to mention here, the description says, the Dark Vanquisher packs the punch of the regular Vanquisher, but with a scope of a higher zoom factor, so it zooms in even further than the Vanquisher's already very effective zoom. So we'll try it out in the testing arena. One thing to note about these weapons, the Vanquisher and the Dark Vanquisher, when you zoom in, make sure you're not trying to hit somebody nearby unless you're just going to no-scope them, because zooming in will zoom in really far, and that might, you know, peripheral vision is pretty much gone whatsoever. So that is a downside, but also a good thing, because, of course, if you're going for distance shots, perfect. Yeah, you can tell it's a lot slower than the other snipers. It does take a fair bit time more. Like if I'm just clicking this whole time, this is how much time it takes. So yeah, a lot slower, but very, very effective weapon. And of course the damage, it's 120. I don't know what the headshot is. I've never used it in real games, so I have no idea. I may have picked it up once, but I never got a headshot with it. So yeah, that is the most powerful sniper you can buy. And yeah, I think that wraps it up for sniper rifles today. If you guys have any questions specifically about sniper rifles, or even just Uberstrike in general, leave them below in the comments, and I'll be happy to answer them. And if this video helped you out, feel free to leave a like. That always helps other people finding this video, as YouTube will kind of, you know, nudge my video into their search bar when they're searching for something like this, if it has more likes. So if you enjoyed the video, feel free to leave a like. And yeah, I think that's about it for today. If you want to keep track of this series, feel free to subscribe. I will really appreciate it if you do, but no big deal if you don't. So I think that's about it for today. Thank you for watching, and see you guys in the next episode.